What's up, guys? Logan Forsyth here, founder and co-CEO of Media Scaling, and today we are here at Creator Fest. We got a sponsorship booth. I'm speaking on the main stage. We're building a lot of amazing relationships, and this is our first time sponsoring an event live. We have multiple team members that we flew out from all over the States to just build a lot of connections, and the goal of this is to obviously develop more client relationships, but also just get a lot of amazing content, find other relationships to provide value to people in different ways, referral partnerships that can turn into more client opportunities. There's so much that happens at these events, and you have ideas that come from amazing conversations and listening to other incredible speakers. So I always love getting out here, making it happen. And if you don't know me yet, some little backstory is I'm founder and co-CEO of Media Scaling, where we work with the world's top creators and brands and guarantee up to 1 billion views in the first 180 days. And some company stats, we now have a team of right under 120 people, posting over 40,000 times a month. Clients are generating billions in annual revenue, and we're generating more than 500 million views per month across the board. And so now I want to lead into the whole day. There's a lot of amazing conversations. There's a sponsorship booth. I'm going to get into some of the backstory of how this came to be and some of the mistakes we made along the way, learning experiences. It's going to be a fun time. Let's go. So this is the booth that we got set up here at Creator Fest. Why we did this is because I have a friend who has a very, very successful firm, and I was asking him, like, what do you think's been so impactful of growing your firm, building more client relationships? And he talked about how he was investing so much into masterminds, right? And a lot of these masterminds are 20, 50, 100K, and that was a good method for him to build his network, sign more clients. However, he was like, I realized instead of paying all this money to join the masterminds, I could sponsor the masterminds and sponsor events, and that became a bigger driver for him and his firm. So I was like, that's interesting, let's try that ourselves. So this is the first event that we have officially sponsored, and we will be doing many more. It's an incredible experience. The guy who's running Creator Fest, his name is Icon. I was introduced to him from a very close friend of ours. And you know, after our first call, we're here 1 month later. We like scrambled, got it all together, made it happen. It's been really cool of like experiencing this for the first time. We've got a lot of feedback, met so many cool people, and I think that this is a really, really good way to build your company, build your brand awareness, and build client or customer relationships regardless of what you do. Like, go out, do events, do sponsorships, find trade shows, make it happen. If we go over here,
will the charger have to plug into that?
well, not the best time to walk up to Spencer.
So we're talking about Creator Fest, HDMI 1, no signal. We checked the input connection, it was all good.
And now the device is connected.
And now that the device is connected, you're about to see some magic.
All right, and if we come over here, this is the team that we got working. This is Spencer, so he's really the brains, the genius behind media scaling in the first place. Pioneered so much of what we do in all of our systems, doing it for very successful brands before we started media scaling, founded it together. How's it going?
Great, man. Appreciate the kind words. Got to give a lot of credit to Logan as well. He's the brains behind our guarantee and our offer and packaging. Yeah, we're here at Creator Fest, here to connect with as many creators and brands as possible, and just provide a lot of value to everyone we're connecting with as well.
Yeah, so when we came out here, last minute after we got the booth set up, it looked really bare. And we're like, man, we need a TV. So we went over to a store local by, got this TV, and we have this playing. It's the video that we had created that goes in our Zoom waiting room. We get compliments on it all the time. If you have a business, it's a really great touch to have a really good branded video in your Zoom waiting room that really just sells you further and shows more legitimacy. But this just goes through, we've been recognized in over 14 publications as the #1 social media firm in creator growth. Breaks down some company stats of us doing over 5 billion views, posting over 40,000 times a month, team of more than 120 people. You know, our clients are collectively doing billions in annual revenue. That showcases our core values of greatness, creativity, integrity, our company mission to work with the world's top brands and entertainers, getting their content in front of as many people as possible, with the core belief that's one of the greatest ways to create lasting positive impact for generations to come, right? These are things that I learned earlier on in my business journey of having core values, having mission that really builds culture and really builds the operating system that your team abides by or operates by as the philosophy, whether or not you're around, right? Like a great definition of culture is what does your team do and how do they think when you're not with them, right? And if you can have them think the way that you would if you were in the room, that's strong culture. And values is a great way to do that. It's also a great way to match the people who you actually want on board that are going to be impactful for you and your company. Yeah, if I were to pinpoint out of each of our core values, the one that resonates with me the most, my favorite one, it would be greatness. I think that it's so imperative for you to really fulfill yourself and find your purpose as a human being on this planet to chase nothing less than greatness. You know, all the people that I look up to the most, that's their philosophy, that's their operating system, like they chase greatness. And we have a saying in the company that small hinges swing big doors. You know, and it's like we don't take shortcuts. We don't just let things slide because it's good enough. We don't go for good, we go for great, right? And also, if you're making those daily 1% incremental improvements, that leads to massive results over time. I love the analogy if you're in a plane and early on in your flight, if you make a 1% course correction in one direction, you're gonna go to an entirely different destination hours later into that flight. And that's what happens as well when you're constantly improving yourself and you have that mentality of greatness to get better and better and better every single day. It stacks and it starts to compound, right? Like you don't see results from one day to the next, but when you look back 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you see a massive difference in your life when you're chasing that mindset, you're chasing that mentality. And I think the other core values that we have kind of fall under the umbrella of greatness. Like you're not gonna be truly, truly great unless you are someone who operates with integrity. You're not gonna be truly great unless you do have creativity and you innovate and you really pioneer the approach that you take and the things that you do in the marketplace.
Small hinges swing big doors. That's a great way to put it. Yeah. Small holes sink big ships. Like little details matter a lot, and that's a big part of greatness. Just paying attention to all the little details and making sure everything's just dialed, and it leads to great results.
100%. All right, so PodFest is hosting a podcast room here at the event. We're gonna go check it out. PodFest is run by Chris, who I've gotten connected with, and then also a friend, Mark Savant, who has a great podcast. We've done another episode in the past, so this should be fun to run a part 2. Shout out. Learning experience, we sent them over our logo. This is typically blue, and moving forward, I'll ask, like, what is the backdrop color gonna be? So we could have just sent our all white version, made the logo pop a bit more. It's like blending with this. Totally fine, but all part of the process. We've had a few tweaks, like over at the booth, the banner that we had created, we put our logo at the bottom of it. And when it's an in-person banner, you have a booth and tables in the front, no one really sees the logo. So that was a learning experience. Now put our logo at the top of the banner so people can see that as well. But all part of the process. Now this is our first sponsored event. And overall, it's gone really great, really smoothly, and we'll always continue to iterate and improve.
What's up, baby?
What's happening?
Ready to roll?
Let's do it. What's up?
Do you guys also make in-house for the companies that they need as well, or you do completely do with your team professionally?
What do you mean by in-house?
So, for example, this Iman decided to do in-house. How am I taking it?
Well, it was always in-house. So like Spencer did it internally for him at the start. Yeah, because media scaling didn't exist at that point yet. Yeah. But now after like he transitioned out, we do it, like we are a firm, you know? So, but we want everyone to feel like we are their team, we are partners. Like we have a very collaborative relationship with everyone that we work with.
Man, good work. I really, really applaud. Really, because guess what? I saw all the content from Brazil as well.
Yeah.
So you guys
Oh, nice.
there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys are big fans of his CMO, Luis. I don't know if you're familiar with Luis.
No,
He's
no.
from Brazil. Super smart guy.
CMO from who?
3 months.
Really? That's cool. That's cool. Brazilian. Good taste.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So I'm pretty much.
Usually, though, a lot of creators have still grown to a large level and they're posting like 300, 400 times per month. And then we'll go in and start posting 2,000 to 10,000 plus times a month.
Jeez.
And if you keep top quality, a ton of the posts go viral.
Yeah.
And you push it back to their main socials and their offers. They see hockey stick growth. Everyone's happy.
So just like omnipresence, like adding
Yeah.
fuel to the fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Media Scaling Show. All right. The only rule here is that you only have 5 seconds to answer each question. So it's gotta be quick.
Who's timing this?
Me?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Spencer, what is the next thing that will break the internet?
AI.
I would agree.
You can't have the same answer.
But that's my answer. I
Well-
agree.
Well, it can't be the same.
Artificial intelligence.
What body part would you not mind losing?
My pinky.
Pinky toe.
No, you If you had a yacht, what would you name it?
Vanessa.
Scaling the seas.
I'm sorry, what? All right, what's the cringiest post that you've ever made on social media in your lifetime?
I don't post anything cringy.
When I was younger, I got these like straw glasses. I think from a place like this, like Universal Studios. And I posted, and the caption was something like "swag too real," something like that. It was from middle school, and then I still had it up on my Instagram account by the time I got to college. And then when we were rushing the fraternity, a lot of the active members roasted me for it. So it got archived after that.
But why did you still have it in college?
Just didn't really put much focus on my Instagram at the time.
Oh, how times have changed.
Oh, how times have changed.
If you had to start a rumor about yourself, what would it be?
I can't, the answer that immediately came to mind, I probably shouldn't say. So,
Well, let's hear it.
that I'm best friends with Elon Musk.
Rumor. I'm a part of the Illuminati. That's a good one.
All right, now, follow-up question. Are you a part of the Illuminati?
Maybe.
That's what the rumors say.
Guess
Yeah.
we'll never know.
Other people say it, I don't.
If you had to start a for-fun business outside of media scaling, what would it be?
Saving all of the dogs in the world.
Aw, that's actually...
That's nice. Mine's not that nice. I immediately went to, I think, like luxury travel, something in that arena.
Like you would be like a concierge, or you would just like post content about it?
I would definitely not be a concierge. I would want to experience it myself.
Whatever leads like the biggest carbon footprint.
Basically, yeah. Lots of jets and yachts and just carbon emissions going up into the air, polluting the earth.
Those jets and yachts and dogs.
There we go.
All right, for the
No,
record,
I'm kidding. I love the planet.
For the
That's
record,
jokes.
it's 2024. Media scaling is eco-friendly, despite what Logan says here.
That's true.
All right, if you had to invent something today, what would it be?
Invent something today. What would it be? I would invent an AI that does everything that every team member in the company does. So then we just scale like crazy with top quality.
If I had to invent something, what would I invent? Teleportation device, so I can teleport.
Where would you teleport to right now?
Mykonos.
Me too. Awesome. What is the best inside joke between y'all?
What's an inside joke?
So we can't tell that.
Someone's got to share.
5-5.
You guys have a lot. So. What? Who?
It's an inside joke.
So what does that mean?
Can't.
That's. I think that's part of the fraternity that they used to be in.
I cannot
Any comment?
confirm nor deny.
Comments?
Yeah.
All right, boys. Final question, and we're gonna battle it out as well. Who would win in an arm wrestling match between the two of you?
Oh,
Man, I think it would be a good one.
that's what it would be.
All right, you guys need to do it now.
I think we would just, out of the brotherly love, we would just stay locked like this the whole time.
All right, finish it off.
We're not doing it on concrete.
You have to.
putting our knees on the ground.
Oh, I thought you were gonna arm wrestle.
No.
Oh.
It was really, and what was really cool is he told you all the steps you need. Do. Oh, and by the way, but if you want to get here, you really need us. I mean, it couldn't have been better. Like, and it didn't feel salesy. It just felt natural.
That
Like,
wasn't the goal.
That's
his style.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it when people can do that.
Thank you. I wanted to, like, I put a lot of time into that
Well,
leading up to it, and I want it to be like as value driven as possible. Like, here you go, you know,
And
just follow these steps.
Where we're at, we've been just throwing shit at the wall. And so what you said, we've been trying to figure out exactly like what are the steps, and we're
Yeah.
going to do what you said.
Love it.
And try that
Yeah.
for the next 60 days. Because
Yeah.
I think that's what we've been, so literally the whole Creator Fest, I think if all I did was go to your
I
speech.
sent out a few emails in general.
You see something, you go straight to Amazon.
Yeah,
Search it up.
Because we work with Epic Dental and they sell like cavity fighting chewing gum.
Okay.
And when they go viral, like their whole business is based on hitting 1 million views. So we just keep making videos for them or helping them go viral, and until they get 1 million views, then they take that, they put it as an ad, and then they sell out in like simultaneously on like their website and Amazon and TikTok shop all at the same time that the videos get 1 million views.
Let's go. So, do you have a correlation of like 1 million views? How many sales come in, like total gross?
It's tough because they have a fulfillment issue right now because it's like xylitol products and everything. It's like harder
Okay.
to get.
Good problem to have, though.
Yeah, it is.
Fulfillment issue is always better than sales
Yeah.
issue.
So that was like the only problem we have. It's so hard to track. Like, but we know, like, I mean,
There's like correlation with the spikes,
there's
for sure.
It's like you can see because Donald, the owner, Donald and Monica, they've showed me the sales spikes over the year. And it's like it's literally like video goes viral on like January 4th, and it's like
Yeah. Right.
like it's
Right.
crazy when you see it, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, oh yeah, viral sells
Yeah.
everything. Like
100%.
more attention.
Especially low ticket,
Mhm.
like low ticket e-com, low ticket info, communities, just products in general.
Because they have, it's like gum, so it's like, $7 a pack, I think.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
And it's like, done. But yeah, but then they take those videos and then they run them as ads. Anything that goes viral, they just start running as ads.
Smart.
And we didn't film with them for like 4 months, and we just kept recirculating the same content. But they were like, no, we don't need to film yet. We're running ads. We can't keep it in stock because the ads are working too low. And then they were paying less money in ads because the watch-through rate was higher or whatever. Because it was like there's no, so their click-through rate was lower. Or click-through was higher, but it was a cheaper price.
Okay.
All because it was a viral video with no
Yeah.
call to action either.
Oh, really? Just
Yeah,
showcasing
just
the
to
product.
showcase the
people's-
product in the video.
Yeah, nice. Subliminal.
So what do you think about short-form agencies?
Short form agencies, I think, is the new modern day SMMA.
I would agree.
And there is a lot of opportunities still. A lot of people think it's saturated. I don't agree if you're one of the few who do it well.
Yes.
Most just don't do it well, and they're more freelancers than they are actual agencies. So you just need to be really, really good at the end of the day.
What do you define as good in your mind?
It depends on who you're working with, what is your niche, what are their goals. Like some local businesses, they just want content because they know it's going to, bring some lead generation, but more so lead nurture as well. Just show more legitimacy to be like one of the few in the local market that's creating content. All the way to the other side of like more entertainment YouTubers, they want as much reach and just awareness, views as possible. Then you go more like middle ground business owners. They want views, but they want value-based views to where it's like bringing in the right people and not like, shit leads.
I hate
and
that word.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I totally get it.
yeah. So it's like different strokes for different folks. You know?
Yeah, I see, because I have a lot of the short form, we'll call them agency owners that follow me. and then I have a lot of short form editors that follow me.
Yeah, me too.
And you as well. So I get from both sides, and the editors that never have work. Well, I'm like, well, your edits suck.
Right.
And then they're like,
Yeah,
what?
a lot of that
Like,
also.
no, we have the best fonts, we have the best styles, we have all this. And I said, none of your videos get views. Like, your structuring is all off. Like, you obviously don't recognize a good hook if it hits you in the face.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause-
So would you say, because a lot of the time when they have like those meme accounts or whatever, they are repurposing long form to short form. Do you think that the clip selection is the most important part above all else?
Absolutely. I mean, when you have like two spectrums, because like you have clip selection via like podcast and long form, and then you have, you know, direct to camera, which is like people just talking.
Yep.
It's like, whether you're looking for clips, it's the fucking topic.
Right.
It's whatever the topic is, and then you have the direct to camera. Is the topic going to get you, you know, views? So it's like you have either way you go. It's like, does the internet even care about this? So if you can find that medium, and it's like we've found, it's just like health, wealth, relationship, finance, sex, marriage, you know, parenting, all the most broad spectrum things, like across the board. Whether you're speaking it to a camera or you're clipping it from something, it's pretty predictable that you're going to get more views. The only problem is, and each of them has their downfall. Like a podcast style, and you guys probably experience this a lot, it's like it might not have the best hook, but there's like a really good clip.
Yeah.
Or, you know, on the direct to camera side, you might just not trust the person talking, or it's not as natural, it seems too forced.
Yep.
Whereas like if you had a conversation, it's going to be more natural and more, you know, flowing.
Right.
And then it's like, yeah, so we deal with that a lot. I see, you know, some of the most valuable like people that like I try to hire, and I'm sure you guys do the same, are like I look for people that have built like meme accounts or clip accounts.
Right.
And
Just
then I try
proof of concept.
Yep. And I try to poach them because if you've made, let's say, 100 videos, you know, statistically, 10 to 20 of those should have done significantly better than all the rest.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
20 being, you know, pretty high on the scale. Like if you have 21 million view videos out of 100 videos, you're doing pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, even if you have 10 or 5, like you learn, you get an eye for like, oh, that was a good podcast, or oh, that was a good clip, or oh, that's the hook. And we've just found like, you know, we use a lot of, I guess, we're trying to use more softwares to find it, but like Opus,
They're not there yet.
They're just not there. Like
Yeah.
we do have, I don't
They
know if
will
you
be
guys-
at some point, but like still a long way to go.
Well, I think the only differentiator of like when you're clipping something is that it's tonality, and the AI doesn't recognize the tonality yet. So like,
So can you explain more? What do you mean by that?
so like if you're watching let's say you have a Grant Cardone podcast, and then you know we're just talking like this, and I'd be like, Logan, dude, I don't buy a fucking house.
Okay. Yeah.
And on AI, like all that would be text, and you just you wouldn't. But his body language goes like this, and he's like excited.
Yeah, it's like Logan, don't buy a fucking house,
Yeah.
or like Logan, don't buy a fucking
Yeah,
house.
you can say, Logan, don't get a house, man. Like, and that, I don't want to say one is better than the other, but like the aggressive, controversial, when you're putting that in a hook, it's gonna win every time.
Polarization. Yeah.
And that's what I don't think the AI is there yet, but even still, that's what good clippers recognize is that emotion, and then it's like then you have this like emotional moment, and it's just like, and this is where the editors fail, because then they're like, well, can I build a video around this? Like, is there a video here? Or is the first part of the video here and the last part here, and this is a 1 hour video? And that's, you know, that's what we always, I feel like we do that really well, and I think you guys do as well too. You know, you've achieved a lot of success. So it's like, that's an editor fucking, like, that's purely on the editor to figure it out.
Right. Yeah, it's all about the clip selection. It's interesting what you said with the podcast, because you can have a really great clip, but the hook may not be there. Yeah. And so you have to like get creative of maybe you could stitch another part that's later on in the clip to move to the front to like be the highlight as the hook to get people in, or even have like text on screen that is kind of the hook that lets people know what's coming, even though it may not be 5 seconds in, 10 seconds into the clip, you know,
I mean, there's
to
a lot
be
of,
used as a hook.
obviously like text boxes, and it's like, and a lot of people try to break down hooks. Like, I'm sure you see all these videos. It's like, we have an audio hook, we got a visual hook, we got a, like, you know, again, if it's just like spoken well, like, and I think that that's a missing piece of like everybody who's making videos doesn't get, or because I think it's the hardest thing to teach, or even, you know, I mean, we know, we've both been friends with, you know, Jason Capital. Like, he's an incredible speaker. He's polarizing on stage. Like, he's easy to clip because he speaks good.
Right.
And I think that comes with reps. It's like a lot of the most successful podcasts, well, they're only good because, well, how many, like you guys work with the Dropouts, how many episodes do they have?
Yeah.
Like
They're 4 years, 5 years in at this point. Yeah.
Like we work with Modern Wisdom. He's got 700 episodes
Right.
or some shit.
Right.
Like you get really good at talking.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing an influx of people coming to the internet right now that are not good at speaking yet. And I say yet because I don't want to discourage anybody.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, it's volume. Like I look at my TikTok and like I think it's good, but then it's like I have like 3,000 videos posted.
Yeah, it's reps. Like we have a lot of people who come to us who crush it in business. Like they make a lot of money, and sometimes like that comes with, you know, you have to have a level of like confidence and ego with that, and so you underestimate what's going to go into content. You're like, yeah, I've made all this money, I'm worth tens of millions. Like I'll start creating content, and it's going to crush. Like people are going to just like I have a lot of value to share, and they think it's going to take off right away.
Look at me, I'm cool.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's like you have to put in the reps, and it's a skill set that's built just like anything else. It takes a lot of time. A lot of people, you know, don't have a 3-5 year patience outlook when they're getting into content, which is really what's required. Not saying it has to take that long, but many times it does.
Yeah, there's
as
unicorns.
well.
Don't get me wrong. And we'll call it luck, like, and preparation, or like personality traits that, you know, you look at, you know, even like you look at like a Mr. Beast. I mean, how long ago was that first video where he said Logan Paul name 100,000 times or whatever it was? Like
well over 10 years.
Yeah, it's like even on mine, like I mean, you guys have known me for a while. Like I have a Stripe screenshot that I'm like looking at, and it's exactly 10 years of being on Stripe. And the first 6, I never made more than $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then from the last, like, you know, the last 3 years, it's gone to 3 million. And it's like everybody just knows that 3 million.
Right,
Nobody
that portion.
knows this.
Yeah.
And it's
right.
like hundreds of videos, if not thousands, of like crickets.
Yeah.
2 views, 10 views, 100 views. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, my mom commenting, this is a great video.
Yeah, I know.
Like, and your friends saying, oh, you should give this up, go back and get a job.
Yeah.
Like, but people don't get that. And it's being more, I see that now as very prominent. Like the difference between like a Cardone or a Ty Lopez or anybody that's made it with a content type of business.
Yep.
It's them. Like,
right.
And then there's like, and that's where like editors and like, you know, like social media managers, like the team wrapped around them, like they can excel as long as you accentuate them the best.
Right.
And I don't think editors, I think the new crop of editors right now, they don't do that well. And
There's also such a big portion of the new crop of editors who just started editing. Like
Yeah,
CapCut
in
makes
COVID.
it so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, in COVID, and then it's like anyone picks it up and they follow some templates, and next thing you know, you're an editor, right?
Yeah.
But you haven't done the reps, just like what we're talking about.
I did a poll, and I have a WhatsApp group with a bunch of editors in it. We did a poll, and it was like, what software do you use? And I think we had like 200 people like answer the question. Like 150 of it use CapCut.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like I did another one. Now I'm curious. It's like, how long have you been editing for? Everybody started editing videos during COVID.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that was 3 years ago. Like maybe a little longer than that, but like roughly 3 years ago. So it's like
globally, it
Yeah.
really took off.
the short form, the industry took
Right.
off during COVID because everybody lost their jobs, and then they're like, oh my God, I got to make money, and they're like, well, I can edit videos.
Yep.
And then they pick up, they're like, well, I can't afford Premiere Pro. That's $40 a month.
Yep.
So they get CapCut for $9.
Yeah,
And then they learn.
and it's also easier. Like we have learned through the process, we only hire editors who use Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro or like DaVinci.
Yep.
One of maybe it's a little bit more expensive, but also harder to learn. Like there's a bigger learning curve to it. And so if you're on one of those platforms, it shows that you have put more dedication and focus into building this as like your career.
Yep.
You are an editor, right? Versus CapCut, it's like a lot of people do it on the side or it's a part-time thing for them. Like they don't identify as a video editor.
Yep.
And so that's played a huge role of us being able to source better talent. From that alone, it's like just what software do you use?
Yeah, what software? Like, how long have you been editing? We found like, so we did I personality indexed my whole team.
Okay.
And we found, because like between like myself, I have Luis, I have Savannah, I have Cam, I have like my core leadership team.
Yeah.
And I've been churning editors, like, and like churning a lot of teams, trying to figure out like, why is it like this?
Getting the
5
right
or
people
6?
on board, yeah.
Like, you know, because as you guys are like, I want to pay one person a lot because their workload is so much higher and it's more predictable and it's just better overall.
Right.
And so we found that like all 5 of us, our personality traits were almost identical.
On what personality test is this?
This is the predictive index. the
Okay,
PI.
predictive index, yeah.
And it was like, everybody fell in their different categories. It was like captain, visionary. Like there was different categories, obviously, if you're familiar with it.
Yep.
And like the certain, like, was it the A? Like I was like all the way over, which made sense because I'm leading. Like there was a lot of traits that made sense, but overall, like everybody's personality, like graph was very similar. And since I figured that out, now any new editor that comes in, if you fall into this graph, like I'm like, okay, now we can talk. So I'm just gonna do that.
They give bonus points for personality assessments can be great for recruiting.
Yeah, and I know it's like some people like frown upon. It's like, oh, but then there was like there's like a score it gives you of like I forget what it's called now. I don't want to say the wrong name, but it's basically how long you can tolerate doing something you're not happy at doing.
Okay.
And like I have Dre who's with me here. Dre scored like a 90 on this.
He's like, I'll do it forever.
And it's like
I don't
basically
care
like,
if I don't like it.
I will do what I don't like to do for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then like we have Savannah, who's by far one of my best editors. Hers was like less than 12.
Interesting.
So it's like, oh shit, so if she doesn't like something, she's gonna fucking burn out real fast.
Right.
And there's like, but knowing that, like, it's like you can, I look at both of them, and like I can see that in their editing styles and how they work, and that was fascinating to me. So like if you're a video editor, I would encourage you to do some sort of personality test to learn like how you operate. Because like even on an example of Savannah too, like she doesn't like to be around people for long periods of time. So if I make her come into our studio and work there, she's gonna resist over time. She's gonna burn out. And it was like just fascinating. It's like, man, I really like her. I want to hang out with her. Like, but she doesn't want to be here. So now I just fuck with her. I'm like, I know you don't like me, but if you want to come in the studio, you're welcome. Like, so it's just interesting to have that like knowledge about the team. But yeah, I think also too, you can see that. I can see why they recognize certain things in viral videos, and I think that on a long enough timeline, anybody can make a video go viral. Like you just do enough, but I think it takes a lot of skill to predictably make videos go viral, which like you guys
100%.
do. Like I mean, we do. Like, we post on average, we'll say 4,000 times a month, which most people freak out about that when I say it, but you guys are fucking way more than that. But out of that 4,000 or so, on a good month, like my goal right now, like, is to get 100. Like
100 viral videos.
100 viral videos a month,
yeah.
And for us, that's 1 million views. Like, so I want 100 viral videos throughout the company, off of 4,000 posts, and right now we fall between 35 and 50, pretty much every month. And I've had one month where we got 70.
Nice.
But that was a long time ago. And I haven't gotten that again. But that's like, but with that predictability of knowing that, I know that if we're getting all these views, then each million view video, which is something we were talking about, like the followers per million is something that I think nobody talks about. And I worry about it because like I'm like probably more on the conspiracy side of things. I'm like, what are we gonna do if like nobody follows anybody and you have to go viral, you have to buy ads? Because how much is that going to separate everybody? And when I've been on TikTok since mid 2020, since they were going to ban it the first time.
Yeah.
And I would get a million view video, and I get like 50,000 followers. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then similar to like a bold guarantee, like when I first started pitching, my pitch to Grant was, I'll get you 100,000 followers in 90 days, and this is back when he didn't have a TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, in 2020 era.
Yeah,
no,
2020. It was way different.
I did the same thing when I started working with Manny Kloshman.
You did Manny, right?
Yeah. So he didn't have a TikTok. Started from scratch. Still a big following on other platforms. And then we brought in an editor who was just using his YouTube channel, repurposing clips, doing 3 posts a day. And in the first 3 months, it went from 0 to over 750,000. In the first 3 months. It's nothing like that today.
He was a perfect candidate too. He had a lot of flashy cars, big.
Right.
I miss those days.
I wish nothing like that today.
Like those things, like, I wish I went harder. Like, I wish I posted more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be stuck like I am at 300,000 now. I might be at around 1 million if I would have. Like, I mean,
totally.
JC obviously.
First mover advantage.
Yeah.
JC was.
He was a first mover advantage.
Save benefit. Yeah.
But I think that there's, but back then that follower per million, based on the video, and it had variances, you could pretty much guarantee 10,000 followers. Like, so I knew and similar to you guys when it comes to when you give a guarantee of like, there's 180 million now, 180 million views in 90 days.
Up to 1 billion in 180 days.
Yeah, even better. Like, but you know predictably because of the amount of videos posted versus the statistics.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that was what I did. I knew that 5 to 10 videos were going to do significantly better. So all I had to do was get focused on getting 10 really good videos in the first 90 days. And every time, like with Graham, I think we did it in like 30. And then, you know, with some other people that I can't talk about, it took almost the full 90, but then it exploded.
Yeah.
And then like even myself, I got there in like 6 months, you know. And then we had, I worked with Adley Kinsman. We got her 1 million in like 5.5 months. And that was 1 million. You know, but now, like we run a lot of big accounts and similar to you guys, and you're lucky to see 1,000 followers per million.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's like an incredibly
It depends on the video. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But the value's like, it has to be a very tactical, very well broken down, step by step, perfect strategy you can take away. And if that hits, yes, you're gonna get a lot of followers. But most normal people, I call them like 1 minute courses. Like, I did a 1 minute course once, and it was how to make money on TikTok if you're broke. I got 5 million views and like 100,000 followers. I've never been able to do that again.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know how many 1 minute courses people have in them.
Sure.
You know, like you can look at even some of the bigger, like, you know, like Cardone's got a few of them where he really breaks down the real estate process well. Like, you see a couple from Hermosi that are really, it's like, they have like their standout videos.
Right.
And then, but now it's like, those don't even matter anymore. It's like, you might get one, but then all your other videos are like 2 followers, 10 followers, 15, 20, 20, 20, 20. And it's like, I don't know, I just wonder, like, if you erase the follower count, what does everybody do?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
It comes down to just content quality, which is like, it's shifting more and more towards that. You know, you have like Moseri, head of Instagram, is like publicly saying this. It's like, we're putting more emphasis, but it's a good thing overall, right? Because now it's like content quality is king versus just the people who have the biggest following because they were a first mover or because they built a huge audience or celebrity status somewhere else that just translated over to social media. You know, it's like making it a more even playing field for just best quality content.
Yeah, and it's so bad. I love watching Moseri.
Oh yeah,
he's
great.
Instagram's just like, we need a moderately good-looking guy to be the head face of our company. Let's give him a necklace and some shirt. Yeah. And it's like you can add him.
So good. Yeah.
And it's like, and then everybody like he's gone. It's like, no, Moseri said this, Moseri said that. It's like, I still wonder, does anybody fucking know what's going on back there? Like,
it's a huge company. You know, it's like, how fast can what comes at the top trickle down throughout to where it's actually applied to the platform where there's millions of posts published per day, you know? So there's a long trickle effect.
And that is stat, I looked up that stat too, like how many videos are posted to each platform per day.
Yeah.
And that was mind blowing to me.
Right, yeah.
Like when you think about from a competition.
That's all the competition.
Yeah, it's like, it was like, man, the algorithm hates me, like I'm shadow banned. It's like, no.
It's massive competition.
You're just getting beat.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not even getting beat by a lot. You're just getting beat a little bit by somebody who's less shittier than your videos.
Sure.
Like, and then you have the standouts. Like then you have the people that come in that understand the content quality.
Hawk Tua,
or some incredible viral moments.
Right.
Like, but they're so short-lived. Like, think about like we were talking about like, the Olympics. Like, the Olympics happened last week, and like I know 2 things that happened. I know of the guy from Turkey that got the silver medal in the sharpshooting thing because he didn't have any eyewear, didn't have any special gear, and he beat everybody who did. And like, and then he went viral until the breakdance girl.
Yeah.
Like,
and then
now,
someone else.
And now the breakdance girl is all I know about the Olympics. And it's like it's a conspiracy. It's this, and it's like, but like it takes one moment and everything else supersedes. And like everybody forgets about everything. That's one thing I'm going to be talking about in my talk tomorrow. Is all it takes is like one video. Yeah. But I'm gonna fire some stuff at you. Tell me what you think about them.
Okay.
Hashtags,
they used to play a much bigger role. Now it's like a tiny lever, but it really doesn't play a huge impact in your content.
I would agree. Phone or camera?
Phone or camera, depends on the platform. Overall, the data shows still that higher production quality equals better results. However, TikTok is like very much more a phone platform. Instagram's kind of mixed. YouTube, production matters a lot. Snapchat is kind of mixed as well. Facebook overall production matters more, but phone can still do real.
What about trending sounds and audios?
Trending sounds and audios. I mean, if you're like a first mover and a trend pops off, you know, and then you're like the video's 2, 3, 4 behind it, like you can have some pops, but again, it's like a tool in the toolbox, but not the tool, right? It's not like the golden bullet.
And what do you think is making most short form agencies fail?
Just they're not good. Like the edits are not good. You just have to have really good quality edits. That's what most people care about. And it's not only just the views or the results, but what we've learned is, especially when you're working with people who are larger, even if the views aren't massive and they're not growing at a rapid rate, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
That's more than half the game right there, because it's branding at the end of the day. And we work with people who have been building their brands for 5 years all the way to 50 plus years. And they're very, very particular about what goes out on behalf of their brand, because they want everything to match the persona. They don't want quality content that is low going out with their brand name on it, because that association devalues their brand over time long term. And so you need to have like really crisp quality content when you're working with larger people and larger brands. Otherwise, the results can still be there, but they're not going to be happy because in their mind, it doesn't look good. All right, and that is a wrap. This was an incredible event, met so many people, so many great conversations, so much fun sponsoring our first event. We're gonna be doing a lot more of these. Anyone watching, if you run events, you want us to sponsor, hit us up, and just get out there, make connections, build relationships. And if you are a larger creator with over 300,000 or more subscribers on YouTube, or an enterprise B2C brand, if you want to get a guarantee up to 1 billion views in 180 days, apply on the website at mediascaling.com. And if you are an aspiring creator who wants to build your following further, we can be your consultant partners and help you scale and become the top 1% expert in your niche as well. Signing off, have a great day, guys.